EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to the Sunshine State and Everbank Stadium here in Jacksonville. Coming up, we got a good matchup on tap here, as it'll be the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Here now is Cam Little out to get us started. And off we go from Jacksonville. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. First carry of the game now for the Texas superstar, Bijan Robinson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts, because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. That time on the outside, pretty nice job as a cornerback to shed any would-be blockers and make the tackle.
And think about the praise we're giving him, what his coaches have given, but how about the respect he gets from his teammates to be a complete corner who doesn't just cover receivers, but also tackles ball carriers.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 36. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
First down, Falcons.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
It's a gain of 17 yards.
A play fake. Now Penix. And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. Now Penix. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And the Falcons are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence. And that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. They'll run with Robinson. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 49 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
That's good hard running right there on 1st and goal. That gets him down to the 2 and puts a lot more pressure on that defense.
Robinson will score. Touchdown Atlanta.
It's not often you talk about statement drives coming right at the start of a game, but that was some statement there. That drive took them the length of the field, and as I look at the clock, ate up nearly the entire 1st quarter as well. Great work up front clearing space, and an ideal finish on the touchdown run.
And now a 2-point conversion attempt forthcoming.
The Falcons will
They'll They'll try and throw with Penix. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Foyesade and Ulikin.
It's interesting that when it comes to two-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And this is not going to wind up anywhere near the landing zone, so this will be blown dead, and they'll move it up to the 40. Very good starting field position for the Jaguars offense as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40.
11. Done.
Now Lawrence. That is incomplete.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
At the 40-yard line.
Now a 2nd and 10.
All right, let's go. Hey, Soko, high.
Running out of the gun with ETN. And he'll make it only to the 43, a gain of 2. 6-0 our score after 1.
That's a gain of 3. It's 3rd
Second quarter now from
7.
Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Lawrence will throw. He'll get this out to the flat for ETN. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
Jaguars, first down. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard
Hey,
line.
go. Done. This is hot.
Off the play fake, here's Lawrence. It's complete, it's Brian Thomas. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Jaguars, first down. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Myers in motion right. A fake on the jet sweep. Now Lawrence off play action. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 23 yards on the play. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Hey, easy. Ralph.
A shotgun snap and a give to ETN. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Travis Hunter from 8 yards out. And the Jaguars are an extra point away now from moving out in front. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
To the air, Penix. That's caught left side to tight end Pitts. And he'll be touched down in the end, but a big play on that one. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So it's 1st and goal, and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break.
Here we go.
Robinson is into the end zone. It's a Falcons touchdown. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the second time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack, and you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line, and he's able to take it into the end zone.
Zane Gonzalez on for the extra point. And that is off the left upright. It's no good. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
All right, let's go. Hey, tomato.
From the shotgun, Lawrence. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. Now Lawrence to throw. That is caught. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Jaguars 1st down.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Falcons are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Following the penalty, it's 1st and 5, and you got to think offensively, all kinds of options. Play action. It's Lawrence. That is caught by Hunter. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. The end result, 21 yards. And that extra yardage makes this upcoming field goal attempt much more manageable.
Agreed, because when you talk to defensive coordinators, they always tell us the 35-yard line on our side of the field, that's the line we guard the most aggressively, because once they get there, they believe they're in field goal range.
Well, still some climbing left to do to get back to even, but forcing a turnover and getting the field goal there, that's a small step toward erasing the early deficit.
Absolutely. That interception field goal, that's the beginning of what they hope will be several steps towards erasing that deficit and building a lead of their own by the time this game is over.
Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Bradley Pinion set to kick off.
The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30.
At their own 31-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline. From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed first down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on second down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
Here we go.
On second down, ETN once more. Loose inside the 30. Inside the 10. Touchdown, Jaguars. Travis Etienne, 62 yards. And the Jaguars come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Lawrence and the Jags offense staying out there. They'll go for 2 here.
The Jaguars will line up for the...
They're going to keep it on the ground. And he is into the end zone again. So get him some oxygen. He scores on the long run and then punches in the 2-point conversion for good measure. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And it'll break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive.
Let's go.
They begin the drive with Robinson. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Looking to throw, Penix. That's complete to Robinson. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And looking to throw, Penix. Short throw caught by Pitts. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
That's another Falcons first down. 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Robinson up the middle. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Now they'll have it 1st and goal following that gain of 17.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Hand off now to Robinson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
A first carry for Tyler Algier. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. From the 4 now, 3rd and goal. And he is going to lose yardage here. So with a 4th and goal looming, we hit the end of 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. On the bootleg, it's Penix. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. He's going to be stopped shy of the end zone. They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone, and that will force a turnover on downs. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Now ETN to start the drive. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now they've got to get things to the finish line. And that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I think he's as fine with that incompletion as a quarterback can be, in all honesty. He avoided his first sack of the game, and he did have a chance of connecting for yardage, just unable to on that throw.
On 3rd down, here's ETN. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. 88 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long. They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here. And I think this defense knew what was coming, as he is smothered behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
2nd and 12 at the 14-yard line.
Hey, line.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. Now he'll tuck this and run. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. A seismic shift in momentum here in the 4th quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call. And in this case, those defenders found a way to give their team a chance.
And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
They'll try and run. This is Robinson. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Bijan Robinson taking it in from a yard out. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes.
The Falcons will line up for the...
They're going to try and run for it. And he will get into the end zone. So how about that for putting it on the line? They've taken the lead by a point here in the 4th quarter. Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
Here's 1st and 10.
Hey.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. They'll come up now. This is 2nd and long.
Rip, 20. Here we go. Hey, Duke. Here we go.
Here's Lawrence. He's going to let it fly. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Hey, Ginger. Done.
Back to throw. Lawrence. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
Forget about matriculating the ball down the field at this point of the game. They needed a big chunk, and they got one. And now you're one completion away from giving your kicker a chance to win the game.
Screenplay. Here's ETN. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
They picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. On second down, ETN once more. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line.
I know they got a little yardage there, but I'm not sure their investment is right. They're still running the football, and I'm not sure there's enough time to continue to do that.
2 timeouts still available in this final minute. It's 1st and 10 now. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. They'll come up now on second down. ETN once more. And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages. Charles, that drive was perfect, methodical, executed so well, and they grabbed that lead with almost no time left for a last gasp from the other side.
No way you could have drawn up a better final drive, because not only did they keep their eyes on the end zone, they made sure they bled the clock out as well and denied their opponent a chance to respond. That's just terrific situational football to end this one.
Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. This is 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Now Pennick's going to hold on to it. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
Well, it took us until the final play, Charles, to officially decide a winner. Although on that last play they were so backed up it would have taken a miracle, and they couldn't get that miracle done.
Well, I like how you stayed with it, because we both knew that this had to go down to the last play, and neither side was going to exhale until that play concluded, because we've seen the improbable before. A couple of laterals, maybe some poor defense on the back end. They might have gone all the way to the end zone. In this case, though, it didn't happen. Perhaps next time.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Jaguars are winners here as we say so long from Jacksonville.